Hey beauties, welcome to my channel and welcome back if you are a returning subscriber. Shout out to you if you are a part of the Elevated Beauty community. If you're not with the gang yet, y'all tap in, hit that subscribe button and join the family. So today we are going to be talking about a super important topic, saving money. Whether you're trying to build your emergency funds or plan for your dream vacation, or you're just trying to get your finances in order, it's time to take control of your money. Okay, sis? Take control of your money before anything else. I know it can be tough, especially with everything that life throws at us. But today, we're going to be looking at some practical tips that people who are managing their money are doing. And let's see what we can learn from them. It's time to start letting our money work for us because we deserve to feel financially empowered. So let's get into it. Y'all, and make sure you stay to the end because I have a hilarious TikTok that is on theme with spooky season and it's just so funny. So please, y'all, watch this video, get your knowledge, but let's have us a good laugh at the end of this video. All right, bye.
Did y'all see the lady who saved over $10,000 because she got this envelope saving challenge right here off of TikTok Shop? Y'all, I'm shook. So I already had one, but I got another one because I like this color better. It's pretty, it's pink, it's my vibe. When I tell y'all, I am invested. I did not come to play, and I promise you I will reach my goals. So all it is that when you open it up, it has like the numbers, everything set up for you, 1 through 100. It has 100 envelopes. Now the real goal is to save $5,000 if you put the exact number that it's on the sticker on there, but you can save more. Guys, when I tell you this is a gold mine, I don't know who came up with this, but they need a hug and they need a kiss because this is going to save me. It's actually going to save my life, honestly, because I'm really not that good at saving. So if you're like me and you're not that good at saving, but you want to start and you want to make it fun and you want to make it pretty and you want to make it your entire personality, then you need to go get this right now, y'all. They do sell out, so don't say I did not put y'all on. Hurry and get it. Look at this little pen slot, y'all. Go get it right now. I am invested.
This is the 100 envelope savings challenge. If you haven't grabbed your 3 yet, you're going to get 3 of these guys and TikTok's going to give you free shipping. And when you put 3 of them in your shopping cart, it's going to give you guys $18 in coupons. So your total price, guys, for 3 of these binders is going to be between $3 and $13, depending on if you're a first-time buyer or a repeat buyer. So if you guys want to see what your price is, click the little banner right here, add 3 to your cart, and go check out and apply your coupons. It's the 100 envelope savings challenge. We got pink, black, purple, blue, green, red, bunch of different colors. And the total amount that you guys are going to save is $5,050. You're going to do, ideally, you want to do 1 envelope per day. And in 100 days, you're done. Every day, you match the money to the envelope number. So if it's number 5, you put $5. If it's number 6, you put $6. And you guys can skip around. You can jump around. I call it suffer-free savings. It's a great way to save up. There's no pain. You actually get more comfortable and you have more fun the more money you start getting, so you get more motivated. So yeah, like $13 in the 13, $14 in the 14. And so guys, before you know it, you're gonna have $5,050 saved up. I call it the little bit to lot of bit strategy. Every day is just a little bit of money, and in 100 days, you got a lot of money. You'll have the $5,050. So go jump on it, guys. This thing's gone viral. It's just all over TikTok. I've personally sold over 61,000 of these binders in the last 4 months. So yeah, if you guys haven't grabbed it yet, go get your favorite colors. Click the little link right here. Put 3 of them in the cart. That should unlock free shipping, and that should unlock $18 in discounts. That's going to drop your price way down. So if you guys haven't joined the 100 envelope savings challenge, hop on it. It's a really cool, fun way to do it. A little bit turns into a lot of bit. Jump on it, guys. Click right here.
This is part 2 of how I save money on a lower than average income. I'm Allison. I make $27 an hour living in Chicago, and I save about $18,000 a year, and here is how I do that. Let's talk high yield savings accounts. These are friggin' amazing. I love them for a multitude of reasons. High yield savings accounts are generally going to be online only and are going to have no fees whatsoever. They have a higher than average APY, so APY stands for annual percentage yield, and it's the amount of interest you're going to earn on the money that you keep in that bank account. For example, my high yield savings account has a 4.4% APY, so if I keep $1,000 in there for a year, I'm going to earn $44 in interest. That's my entire coffee budget for a month. They're great for short and midterm goals because there's literally no risk. You're going to make money and you cannot lose money. Whereas if you're investing in the stock market, there's a fair chance you're going to lose some money in the next year. I also like that you can keep this separate from your normal checking account, so it's like not even on your bank account page when you sign in to see how much money you have. So it's out of sight, out of mind, and hopefully you're not going to touch it. Another thing I've done to help me save $18,000 a year is I have made more money when possible. I've made like a few $100s through side hustles this year. Basically, I was like tutoring online. It didn't really last. The main thing I did to earn extra money was I worked overtime when possible. But there are also plenty of other ways to make money on the side. When I was in my early 20s, I posted an ad on Nextdoor saying I offer Spanish tutoring. And this old man messaged me and was like, I just want to talk to someone in Spanish so I can improve my conversational skills. So I met up with him once a week. We spent an hour talking in Spanish and he paid me like 25 bucks. Something else I've done to save a large amount of money on a lower than average income is I've really nailed down the differences between wants and needs for myself. Now, this is going to be very personal, but I really want to encourage you to stop and think, do I need to get my nails done or do I just want to get my nails done? Do I need to live alone or do I just want to live alone? And this is not to say you should deprive yourself of every little thing. I frequently get coffee out and about in the world because it truly brings me joy. It's just really taking the time to reflect and meditate on what actually brings you joy and what is actually worth the money for you. If you want even more tips, definitely go check out my previous video about the 3 biggest things I've done to save $18,000 a year, making $27 an hour, because those 3 things I mentioned in my other video are really like the foundation for my financial success. And don't forget to follow for more realistic money tips.
I love her tip about having a high yield savings account. I have one as well, and I'm just excited to see how much my money grows over time. Like the fact that I'm earning interest just from my money to sit in this versus letting it sit in just my regular bank account and earning like pennies. Yeah, I like the high yield savings account.
So the next time that you're in the store, instead of focusing on the joy of buying something or thinking about how nice it's going to be once you finally have this item, for a change, flip the script and think about the headache that might follow. If you're trying to spend less, I guarantee you, this is one of the best ways to trick yourself into saving money. We get so caught up in the excitement that we don't think about the aftermath. So instead of saying, I'm going to look fantastic in this, or this is going to look great in the living room, ask yourself, will this purchase lead to debt or make it hard for me to cover my bills, ultimately causing me stress down the road? And if it does, is it worth it? This is such a simple thing, but I promise you it works, because taking just 2 minutes to pause, put your emotions aside, and really think about what you're about to do can give you a window of clarity that helps you make the right decision. And after doing all of that, you're able to make a decision that you're confident in, and most importantly, one that you won't regret. You might decide to buy it today, to buy it next week, or not to buy it at all.
Those little personal conversations that you have to yourself where you have to self-evaluate and like check yourself are so important. Y'all, if you don't have an inner conversation with yourself about big things as far as spending money and just big decisions that you make, you're going to end up regretting the decision. So take time and definitely learn to speak to yourself and learn to listen to yourself.
Let's talk about 3 of the easiest ways to save money as we go into the new year. Number 1, and this is the hardest one for me because I am super impulsive and especially I'm a big like treat yourself girly, but number 1 is to just say no, okay? You don't need every single thing that you see on TikTok Shop or Instagram ads. You don't need it. Add it to a wish list or like make a folder online and see if you still want it 24, 48 hours later, even a week later, and chances are you probably forgot about it. Number 2 is to open a high yield savings account. If you guys haven't done this already, take 10 minutes and do it today. I'm telling you, you will thank me. Whatever you have to put in there, whatever you can put in there monthly, at least earn something for the money that you are saving up. Number 3 is out of sight, out of mind. Put your savings into a completely different bank, have it taken out of your paycheck.
This is how I save money and get what I want through negotiating. I learned these tips in law school and they work 99% of the time. First, know what can be negotiated. There's a few things that can't, but there's a lot of things that can be negotiated. And negotiating these things for your benefit can save you hundreds of dollars. For example, I love negotiating my phone bill, rent and bank fees, gym memberships, rent, salary, etc. 2, creating a win-win situation, not a win-lose. This means that you have to sell yourself a little. The other party should not feel like they're losing for you gaining what you want. For example, a lot of companies are more than happy to give discounts to their high-value, loyal customers. So make them feel like you are. I'm running out of time, but like and follow and I'll do a part 2.
Overspending and impulse spending is keeping you from building the life you want to build. So let me show you 3 ways to stop doing that. All the time I hear people say things like, I want to save, but I cannot stop overspending, or I have these goals that I want to hit, but my spending gets in the way of it. And it's almost like they don't realize that it's up to them to make that happen. And that used to be me too, trust me. But if you don't put tools and systems in place for yourself to stop that behavior that you want to stop, you're not going to stop it, especially when it gets into the moment. You see things you want to buy, you're just going to go ahead and buy them because you have no way to talk yourself out of it. These 3 methods all have the same goal. It's to force a pause so you can stop and think about that thing. Here are the 3 methods, and before we get into those, I need you to know that before you start this process, you need to sit down and figure out why you want to stop overspending. You need to have a strong why and some strong goals that you want to hit. So number 1, a waiting period. Implement this for yourself and it's going to cut out like 50% of your overspending, or at least it did for me. So every time you see something that you want to buy that you did not budget for or was not in your plan, usually when you would just go ahead and buy it, I want you to wait a predetermined amount of time. And it doesn't matter what that time is. It could be an hour, a day, a week, whatever feels best for you. The point here is to force the pause. So maybe you go to Target to get some regular groceries and you see something that's maybe on sale even, and you're like, oh my God, I have to have that. First, you're going to stop and you're going to think about your why. Why are you trying to stop overspending? Then you're going to say to yourself, okay, I set up my waiting period already. I'm going to go ahead and wait 1 day or whatever it is for you. And then if that 1 day passes and you still absolutely need that thing, go ahead and go buy it. A lot of times by the end of that waiting period, you're not going to want the thing anymore. Method 2 is a savings match. So create a rule for yourself that tells yourself every time you want to impulse buy something, you have to send that same amount of money to your savings account. And if you cannot afford to do that, you can't buy the thing. So again, with the example of going to Target, say you go to Target, you see a cute shirt that you want to buy, but you didn't plan to buy that and it costs $20. You can buy it if you can also send $20 to your savings account right there on the spot. That means you'd be spending $40. Can you afford to spend $40 at that time? That's up to you. And method number 3, write down a reason in your phone, in a notebook, whatever, of how does that purchase align to your goals. And remember, at the beginning I said you need to have a strong why and you need to have some good goals. So does that impulse purchase bring you closer to your goals? Does it align to your goals, or are you actually taking away from your goals? You are in control of your life, and it is not up to anyone but you to make these things happen, okay? It is not up to anybody but you to stop your overspending. And if you are not going to get control of yourself and not learn to master your mindset to be able to pause and think about these things first, you're not going to make progress. So pick one of these things and try it out for a month and see how it does for you. See how much money you save. And actually, you can even keep a log of it. Every time that you want to make an impulse purchase, but you use a method and you save that money, write it down. And at the end of the month, see how much money you save. Let me know in the comments, what do you do to try to battle overspending or impulse spending? And as always, you got this, friend.
Hey y'all, so here's how to balance out your spending. I use this for all my budgeting clients, and here I'm going to be showing you the secret to it. So there are 4 main categories that we use. Number 1 is going to be our needs. And then number 2 is going to be our wants, 3, savings, and 4 is going to be investment/debt repayment. Now, balancing out your spending is really about what makes you feel comfortable. So we have 60%, 20%, 15%, and 5%. And then that totals out to be 100% of your income. So next, we're going to go ahead and break down our income and say we make $20 an hour, which is going to be about $3,200 a month gross, working full time. And then taxes are going to be about 20%. So with the taxes being 20%, then that gives us a net of $2,560. So now what we're going to do is break that up into our 4 categories. So what you do is take that net amount and you multiply it by the percentages that you set for yourself, and then the numbers are going to tell you exactly how much you have to spend in that category. So try this out for yourself and let me know how it goes.
When you get paid this week, the first thing you're going to do is transfer $50 to your savings account and then worry about everything else. You ain't never heard about this before. It's called the pay yourself first formula. That's what it's called. You work so hard for your money, but you don't keep any of it. So transfer $50 this pay period, and you continue doing that for the rest of the year. Let me know if you don't save some good money. All right.
Here's a secret that rich people understand that if you ever want to get out of the struggle, you need to understand as well. It's actually not a secret. We're just not openly taught this. When you don't have money, you have to work for that money. When you do have money, you make it work for you. So how do you get from working just to make ends meet and pay your bills over to money is expanding and working for you? You probably don't want to hear this, but the answer is you're going to have to sacrifice, and we'll talk about what that looks like in a second. Here are the milestones you're going to have to meet to get to this other side, and this is the stuff that I'm teaching every single day on my channel because you can do this. First priority is saving up an emergency fund, $1,000 to $2,000 as a safety net, and then you go and you start paying off your high interest debt. All of your high interest debt needs to go. It's non-negotiable. Once you pay that off using an avalanche or snowball plan, you go back and you save your emergency fund to 3 to 6 months worth of expenses in a high yield savings account. Now that money's already going to be working for you, making free money in a high yield savings account, but we're going to take it a step further and start investing your money. I don't mean crypto or individual stocks. I mean things like index funds or ETFs. I have more content about that if you're interested. Now you may be thinking, I don't have enough money to save. I can barely pay my bills. This is where sacrifice comes into play. You want to hit these milestones by any means necessary. That means you might have to get side jobs temporarily. You might have to invest your time to learn new skills that can bring you more money. You have to learn how to say no to friends and family who don't know what your financial goals are. You have to let go of your image, okay? So quit trying to buy the newest phone, the newest car, the biggest car you can afford, the biggest house you can afford. Is it fair that sometimes people have to work 2, 3, 4 jobs just to make ends meet plus try to hit their goals? No, not really. But you can either focus on that and stay stuck, or you can focus on trying to hit these goals and get yourself into a better situation. Working multiple jobs does not have to be forever, but guess what? Like I said, by any means necessary, you need to hit these goals. So if it takes you a couple years of working side jobs and working a lot of hours to finally get to a place of financial freedom, it is worth it. Trust me. You're also going to have to do some mindset work because mindset is absolutely everything. Mindset alone, just sitting there thinking about positive things, doesn't get you rich, no, but mindset opens up opportunities that you can't even imagine. When you do a lot of mindset work, you let go of limiting beliefs, you get out of the victim mentality, you start to realize that you are actually in control of your life and you can make anything happen for yourself that you want to. And take it from me because I used to be worse than broke. I had $0 even negative in my bank account and I was a single mom, very much struggling to get by. Because of all these things I'm talking about, I am now on the path to becoming rich in my future. I also want to talk a little bit about letting go of your image, and I'm going to use myself as an example again. I want a new Tahoe, and I have the money to go and get it, but should I do that right now? Should I go and buy a $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 vehicle when I could be sinking that money into my investments that's going to get me a way bigger return? I have goals and I'm going to hit them by any means necessary, and for me, that looks like me continuing to drive around my paid-off minivan because it has no payment. I send that money straight to investments, and that money is growing me money while I sleep. Everybody's goals are different. Everybody's threshold for going aggressively at their goals is different. So you have to decide, what does that look like for you? For me, that looks like being content with the material things that I have right now, being content with not getting my nails done every 2 weeks. I do them at home now. And guess what? I don't restrict myself down to the bare bones minimum. I let myself have fun with my money, and I still am able to hit my goals. That's because I did a lot of sacrifice up until this point to get to where I am right now. And I'm no different than you are. I promise you. Go look at my story on my page, my journey. It's pinned at the top of my page, and you will see what my journey has looked like. I've worked 14-hour days. I've worked multiple jobs at a time. I've invested thousands of dollars to learn new skills. I've done it all. I promise this is possible for you too. You just need to have some mindset shifts, and you need to understand that the main goal is making your money work for you. That's the goal by any means necessary, and that is why I'm on TikTok teaching the things that I teach, because this is possible for anybody. So commit to yourself. You're going to do one thing today to get you closer to your goals, whether that is sitting down and making a plan, or you can go to my bio and get my free Money Mastery Basics guide. That will get you started. Just do something that's going to bring you closer. You got this, friend.
There is one method that I used to start managing my money in my 20s, and it helped me grow my savings account effortlessly. I wouldn't even think about it, and I would just check my bank account, and I'd be like, holy crap, there's more money in there. And when I tell you this, it is so simple. You're gonna be like, why didn't I think of that before? This method was my saving grace that helped me finally break the paycheck to paycheck cycle, because even though I was making decent money, I couldn't seem to get ahead or above that number in my bank account. Like that one number, you know, every time you log in and you see it, you're like, why? Like you thought you were doing good, but it's still the same, or it changes for a little bit, but then it just goes right back to it. This method will help you get over that. And this method works for like any type of savings goal. So my students have been able to use it to pay off their their credit card, save a down payment for a house, save to pay off their student loans, save for a new car, save for a trip they've always wanted to go on, invest for retirement. You name it, it works. And the reason why it works so well is because it combines both strategy and psychology. So I call this the future first method, and there are 4 steps. First thing you need to do is go and open an account with a bank that is different from the one you use for your daily banking. This is because we don't want you to have easy access to the money for things that the money is not for. And because by using an online bank, you'll be able to get something called an HYSA, or high yield savings account. This account will pay you 12 times more than your regular savings account with your bank, and that money can help you reach your goals faster or be another stream of income for you to spend. I make a few $100s a month off mine. The next step is PYF, or pay your future self first. This is what the rich do, and if you want to become rich, you need to emulate them. This means before you spend any money out of your paycheck, you're going to transfer money over into your goals accounts instead of waiting to see if you have anything left over. The third step is not counting on yourself to actually manually do this transfer every time you get paid. Because if you're like me, then something's going to come up or you're going to forget about it, and then you're not going to do it. So we want to make saving effortless and automatic. What you're going to do is set up automatic transfers from your bank account into your high yield savings account every time you get paid. Fourth step is all about psychology. So we are going to actually name those accounts. I use EQ Bank in Canada, and I know Ally in the US, you can actually do this. You'd have your main account, right? And then within that account, you could have different sub accounts. So you could have like Bali 2025, new car, new house. You can actually set savings goals within those accounts. And this way it helps you get out in front of self-sabotage, because it becomes so much harder to steal from yourself when you can bring your present mind back to what that goal was actually for. Instead of this money just like being in your savings, now you're stealing from new house. Well, what do you want more, that sweater or the new house? And it's a good way to bring yourself back to that present moment and remind yourself of what's truly important to you and what your actual values are. If you want to learn more about the strategies I used to go from $40,000 in debt to a millionaire at 30, check our link in bio. We have 4 free trainings available, or applications to work with me are now open.
So if you know me, like, I live, sleep, eat budgeting. And if anyone were to ask, like, what are some tips? These are like the best 4 tips I would tell you that I even used last year to save about like a little over 30K in about 10 and a half months. So the very first thing I think I always tell people they should do, and I feel like a lot of people don't do this when they say they want to save, is to set a goal. Like, you need a destination. You can't get in a car and start driving and not know where you're going. Like, once you set the major goal, then you'll be like, okay, this is how I want to save, how much I want to save by the end of the year. This is what I need to save monthly. This is what I need to save weekly or bi-weekly, whatever you get paid. So it's really to set a goal. I think that's the number one thing you need to do. Have a destination so you know how to break it down. Tip number 2, and baby, this tip is so simple, but when I tell you, if you do this, you will literally 10x your life, and not only your finances, but everything you do, is to get a calendar. And I don't play about my calendars. Anyone that knows me, if it's not on my calendar, if I didn't budget it on my calendar, I'm not going, I'm not coming, unless you paying for it. Yes, I'm that friend you better be paying for if you want me to come. So with the calendar, I have 2 calendars that I use every day. I have a whiteboard calendar that I hang up in my room. And with that calendar, I just put I put my bills, I put like birthdays, I put like anything I have planned. But the main calendar I'm talking about is like a calendar like this. I got this from Amazon. It's just like a paper, like a desk calendar. And what I do with this calendar is I write down all my bills and the amount. I write down when I'm getting paid and the amount. And then also I write down if I have anything planned, like if I'm going out to eat, if I'm going to the movies, anytime I'm going to be spending extra money. And when I feel like with the calendar, it helps you just see your like time in advance because you see it a month out. And it also just helps you mentally like place like a fixed time period for yourself. Like, you know, okay, I'm getting paid Tuesday, but I have a bill coming out on Friday. Or I'm getting paid Wednesday, but I'm going to the movies on Saturday. So it's just like you see everything in advance, and it just teaches you like how to save, what you can save, what you can spend, if that makes sense. So tip number 3, and this one I actually did it on accident, and then I was like, wait, this is so smart, is to get 2 different bank accounts, one for your savings and one for where you can spend your money. And honestly, it changed my life. So what I did was when I got my new job, I got a new bank account, Capital One, and I made sure all my direct deposits go into that bank account. And then I would move the money that I could spend for my check into my other bank account, which was Navy Federal. But I say that because you just want to be able to separate your money, because if you have your money all in one bank account, you're more likely to spend it. And I also, with having two different bank accounts, whatever you're using to save your money, make sure it is a bank account that provides like a higher interest for your saving account. So that's why I use Capital One, because they give you more money monthly for keeping it in your savings account. And I remember I was explaining this to my friend, and she was like, well, I would just end up selling myself. And it's like, look, if you don't have the discipline, I can't help you there. You have to have some type of discipline to be able to do this. Okay? So my last tip number 4, is find other ways to make money. And I don't care if you're making 6 figures. I don't care if you're making $30,000. I don't care if you're making $200,000. There's always ways to make more money. And I feel like, especially people that make 6 figures, they get very comfortable making 6 figures. But you all gotta remember one thing. It's like, I love real estate, right? So I been around people that are literally millionaires. So it's like, that little money, like, you can always make more. And I feel like people, when you tell people, oh, find a way to make money, they're always like, oh, I need to figure out a business. Like, I got to make my own business. It's like, no, yeah, trust me, do your own business. I definitely believe in, having your own thing and not working for other people. But I mean, like, for the meantime, like, I do Uber Eats. I live by Uber Eats. Go Instacart, go DoorDash. Like, we live in a very strong time right now where it's like, we can use our technologies to make money, whether it's signing up for an Uber Eats app and going outside and driving, whether it's figuring out how to make money from your phone selling a product. I don't know. Like, there's literally so many ways to make money. Just figure out what you like to do and make money. But yeah, y'all, that is like the 4 main things I use that I'm still using to help me save money. Like I said, I saved about $30,000 in about 10 and a half months just doing those 4 main things. So yeah, I hope this helps and save money, y'all, because we cannot be out here being broke. No, that's not an option, okay?
If you want to save $5,000 in 100 days, then this is the video for you. What you'll need is a notebook, envelopes, a pen, preferably 2 different colors. So I start off by numbering my notebook 1 through 100, as well as the envelopes 1 through 100. This is the easy way to keep track of what you have saved so far. So I'm already halfway through the process, and this is what I have saved so far. Just going to place them all out and go back through my list and check off the ones that I have already saved. If you're anything like me, I'm a visual person and I like to see the progress that I have done so far. Also, it's an easy way to add it up and keep track and see how much you have left to go. So this is everything that I have saved so far. So I'm going to add up all the missing ones, and that came out to a total of $2,188 that I still need to save. Subtract that from $5,000, and my current savings is now at $2,812. Happy savings, and follow me for more tips and tricks.
What if I told you there's a system you could set up for yourself that will stop you from living paycheck to paycheck and totally simplify your budget? That system is called Getting a Month Ahead on Bills and Automating Your Finances. I have a fully in-depth guide on this in the Money Mastery Toolkit, but let's get right into it. So here's your current cycle. Number 1, you get paid. Number 2, you pay the bills that you currently have due, which depending on the payday could be almost all of your check or almost none of it. And then 3, you scramble with whatever is left until your next check. This cycle is what's keeping you living check to check because there's no consistency in the amount you're paying towards bills, and so it's really hard, and you have to budget really well for the rest of the money you have left over, which sometimes is really not enough to get you to the next check. P.S. Go watch the How to Budget playlist on my page to learn how to budget. We are doing away with that current cycle and getting a month ahead. So when you're a month ahead, this is what it looks like. You save up your total fixed expense amount. This is all of your bills with due dates that you pay every month. This does not include like groceries and gas, right? This is like your rent, your utilities, your phone bill, etc. Plus a little bit of a cushion. You save up that entire amount, and then you're going to go and you're going to put it in a dedicated bill account. This is just a checking account that you open that you will set all of your bills to auto pay from that account. Since you have your entire fixed expense amount in this account, it's not going to go negative. You're going to allow your bills to auto pay. And then when you are paid, you replenish that bill account with a consistent amount. This allows your budget to be consistent and you'll stop living check to check. Let's talk about what that looks like in a real life scenario. So say that you have a spending account where you will spend your money from, and then you have a bill account where your bills are paid from. You do not spend money out of this account for groceries or anything like that. It's just for bills. And you have your paycheck going into your spending account. Let's also assume that your monthly fixed expenses, again, meaning your bills, equals $3,000, and you've already saved up that $3,000 and it is sitting in your bill account. So say you're paid bi-weekly or twice a month and your paychecks are $3,000. They come right into your spending account. Since you already have your whole bill account here, all we have to do is replenish this from the bills that have been auto-paying. So you know, since you're paid twice a month, you need to divide your monthly fixed account or amount by 2 since you're paid twice in the month. So when you get this paycheck, you are going to take that $1,500 and you're going to send it to your bill account. This is going to automatically replenish your account, and this keeps your budget consistent because you know every single time that you get paid, you have to send this exact amount to your bill account to replenish, and then you have the rest of the $1,500 in this example to work with for the rest of your budget, like groceries, gas, fund money, etc. So instead of the current cycle that you might be living in where you get your paycheck and say it was still $3,000, but say that you had $2,500 worth of bills due on that first check, you're left with only $500 left for the next 2 weeks, right? So that is no longer the case when you do it like this. You now have a consistent amount, and you know that every paycheck, you are going to send this amount and you're going to have X amount left over. No more scrambling, no more freaking out, no more trying to make $500 work for the next 2 weeks. Important to note that this takes time. It's not going to happen overnight. Your first step is to figure out your monthly fixed expense amount. And once you have that, you know your savings goal. If you do get the Money Mastery Toolkit, there is a savings challenge in there that allows you to like color in boxes and keep yourself accountable while you go through the savings challenge. But anytime you have any extra money, say you get some extra money for your birthday or you have an extra $20 laying around, put that towards your month ahead fund. Just keep working towards that goal, keep saving as much as you can towards it, and once you hit that amount, you go and put it in your bill account, and then you can finally start the process. Also, challenge yourself to make small sacrifices to meet this goal as fast as possible, because once you do meet this goal, it's going to change your financial life. So maybe you like to get coffee on the way to work. Maybe decide for the next 2 weeks you're not going to buy coffee, and instead you're going to send that $6 to your bill account, or you're going to put it in your envelope, however you're saving it. And over the course of 2 weeks, if you get coffee every single day, that's a chunk of money that you have saved now for your month ahead fund. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions. This part of the Money Mastery Toolkit has changed some lives and has changed some situations. So I challenge you to make it happen for yourself. You got this, friend.
So she said she gets paid every 2 weeks and wanted to learn how to budget and save more money because she didn't know where all her money was going each month and didn't have time to learn a complicated system. So I said, I got you, girl. Her next 2 paychecks were going to be on the 16th and the 1st, and we're going to be roughly $1,540. We're going to start with her needs, which is her housing, water, electricity, internet, cell phone bill, food and toiletries, car insurance, and also we can't forget about her fuel. She wanted to start saving for an emergency fund, so that was going to be our next priority. She didn't have any other debt payments, but she did have a few wants, which is Netflix, Hulu, and being able to eat out occasionally. Now, after setting all that up, we began to budget her paycheck. We split her rent into 2, which is $550 each. Her water and her electricity was coming out of her check on the 1st, and her internet and her cell phone bill were coming out of her check on the 16th. She pays her car payment every 2 weeks, so that's $250 every 2 weeks. Her car insurance comes out of the check on the 16th, which is $140. Her savings came next, and then we budgeted about $100 per paycheck for food and about $50 per paycheck for fuel. Her Netflix and Hulu comes out of her check on the 1st, and the rest is left for eating out. And here's her final look for what she spent for needs, savings, and wants. Follow for more tips.
All right, beauties, that's a wrap on today's tips for saving money. These ladies and gentlemen gave some amazing financial advice. I'm definitely going to try out a couple of these things. Y'all comment down below and let me know which tip you're going to try out. And if you have any tips, please comment it down below and just help someone out in our community. So yes, I hope you're feeling inspired and ready to take charge of your money. And just remember, it's not about cutting out everything you love. It's about being smart with your choices and building a future that you can feel secure in. So if you found this video helpful, please make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more content like this. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so you'll never miss an upload. Ladies, it's time to elevate, and it's no excuses. We're not making no excuses. We're not blaming anyone for our situations. We're just building ourselves out of our situations and becoming better. So, yep. Subscribe for more, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye.